Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you. My name is Libby Segev, and I am a current Denver Jewish Day School parent, and I am also an alumna. I met Craig 29 years ago when I was a peanut of a 7th grader at Rocky Mountain Hebrew Academy, and he was the tall gym coach with big hair who always licked his hand before he threw the football. We spent a good portion of gym class that year in the social hall of BMH, where we played basketball by shooting into large trash cans on top of the stage or playing gaga with the folding tables. You see, we had limited resources at that time. We didn't have the fancy gym or the fancy sports uniforms. We didn't have the art room, lunchroom, computer lab, or even the library. But we did have Craig Halper. I'll admit that in 1989, I had no idea how lucky I was to have Craig as my teacher. I did not realize the impact that he would have on my life and on the lives of so many others. As my volleyball coach, Craig taught me the importance of teamwork, dedication, practice, and perseverance. I'm not sure if it was the way that I tossed that basketball into the trash can, my incredibly tall stature, or just that Craig wanted to give me a chance. But I must have made a really good impression in 7th grade gym class, because that's when Craig suggested that I try out for the girls' volleyball team. We only had a boys' basketball team and a girls' volleyball team at that time. I bought my knee pads, showed up the JCC for tryouts, probably got hit in the face a few too many times with a ball, and ultimately was excited to call myself a Ramah Tiger. My first volleyball game as a Tiger was tough. We lost that game, and we lost it big. We got wiped 0-15. Yeah. But Craig kept holding practices, kept making us do the drills, and he told us to hold our heads high, even when we were defeated. Fast forward 5 years to my very last volleyball game at Ramah. It was freezing outside. We had to schlep to Chayatsville to play an away game. We were warmed up and ready to go. We won the first game. The other team won the second game. The last game would determine the victor. We played hard as a team, really hard. We dove for the ball, we had fabulous saves, and we left with bumps and bruises that we hadn't even felt during the game because of the excitement and adrenaline. And when the ref blew the whistle after the game-winning point, I looked over at Craig, who had tears in his eyes. It was a big win. We had come full circle. We won that game 15-0. True story. Teamwork, dedication, practice, and perseverance. Craig also taught his students and the community about the importance of putting stereotypes aside and giving everyone the chance they deserve. You may recall that we only had 2 sports teams at Ramah, a boys' basketball team and a girls' volleyball team. I must have asked Craig, as well as Jerry Rotenberg, on a daily basis about the possibility of starting a girls' basketball team. The answers were usually the same. Ramah didn't have the resources, we hoped to have a team one day, but it wouldn't be this year, and so on. But one day, in the fall of 1993, when I was bugging Craig about a girls' basketball team, Craig responded differently than he had in the past. He asked me if I was interested in trying out for the boys' basketball team. At first, I thought he was kidding too, but he wasn't. When basketball tryouts rolled around, you better believe I was there. Craig treated me just like every other player that was out on that court. He didn't baby me or give me a break, nor did he make me run harder because of my gender. I was just one of the guys with a very long ponytail. Many of our opponents laughed, mocked our team, or did their best to knock me to the ground if the opportunity arose, simply because they couldn't handle the thought of a girl being on the boys' team. But Craig never wavered in his decision. Craig supported me 100%. He made it clear that I earned my spot on the team just like all my teammates, and I deserve the opportunity to play. The following year, Jerry started the girls' basketball team, and I was honored to join. This, of course, meant that I was only on the boys' team for that one season. But the lessons that I learned from Craig about leadership, giving everyone the opportunity they deserve, having the courage to stand up for others, and the courage to do the right thing remain with me to this day. Craig has been a dedicated member of Denver JDS for over 30 years. He puts his heart and soul into his job and has impacted the lives of so many. Craig has been my teacher, my friend, and someone who has made me reflect on the type of person I want to be. I am honored to have the opportunity to say thank you to Craig personally and on behalf of the Denver JDS Board of Directors, faculty and staff, parents, and of course every student who has been lucky enough to learn from Craig. William Ward, the writer, once said about teachers, "The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires." Craig is a great teacher. It is my pleasure to present Craig with this year's Star of David Award. Craig, thank you and Mazal Tov.
I wasn't planning on saying anything. It's not my thing. I'm more comfortable in front of a group of 7th and 8th graders. But I'd like to thank the Academy, Rocky Mountain Hebrew Academy, Herzl Ramah at the Denver campus for Jewish education, and finally, the Denver Jewish Day School. By sending your children, by supporting the school, you've given me life, and a life that would have been nothing like this, I think. In fact, I know. So thank you so much for supporting our school and supporting the lives that I get to affect, and most of all, that they affect my life. So thank you so much.